it was magical. Honestly, for me, it's pure magic. You know, guys, for me, that would be an absolute hell. In famous Giacomo Casanova, dishonest vendors try to change the wording. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to Murano in Venice. This is actually the city of Venice. Murano is one of the most famous islands of Venice, known as the glassmakers island. Everything here is centered around the glass manufacture and there is a lot to discover glass-wise, but also there are so many more secrets that I want to share with you, and I am so excited to discover this whole island with you and to see it for myself because it's the first time for me here. So yeah, I'm pretty excited, and the panorama here is wonderful and I can only imagine how beautiful this island will be. So guys, if you're ready, we can begin our video, we can begin our tour, but before that, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button so you join us, so you join our lovely travel family and do not miss anything. Now guys, if you're ready, without further ado, let's go with me. The mass production, the mass manufacturing of the glass began in the Republic of Venice around the 13th century. However, you can imagine, right, the 13th century and most of the houses, or at least a very large part of them, were made of wood. And the result, the consequence of glass making process that used a lot of fire. There were a lot of hazardous situations in Venice. The fires were pretty common and often, and the houses were suffering a lot and the people were in danger because of this glass production. And so the glassmakers were kind of exiled. Well, they were moved to the Isle of Murano, where they have stayed ever since. And so this island has become the center of glass manufacturing and it has become world famous for glass manufacturing. And it's amazing because still to this day there are these small artisanal shops, bodegas, where people manufacture glass, and it used to be a highly secretive craft, by the way. That you know, the secret of glass making with this special technique was passed from father to son, and it was kind of a family affair, you know. The sons were inheriting the business from their fathers and so on and so on. And I think this is absolutely amazing that this original technique has been conserved to our days. Can you just imagine, guys? It went through centuries and it remained here on the island of Murano, and it basically remained the same. I think this is absolutely fascinating. Here is the thing, to preserve the secret of this glass making technique, the local glass makers were prohibited to leave the island. They were basically confined to this island without the right to move abroad or to move to a different part of Italy or to move virtually anywhere. Can you just imagine living your entire life on a very small island without the right to leave it? And you know, like, yes, on one hand you're doing what you love doing, hopefully you're doing your like family craft and you're participating in this highly secretive manufacturing, but on the other hand you cannot leave it, and you cannot leave it to travel, you cannot leave it to move abroad. You know, guys, for me that would be an absolute hell, without exaggerating. However, the local legend says that there were at some point a few glassmakers who managed to kind of escape Murano and move abroad. They boarded the ship that went to the United States, and it was around the 18th century, I suppose, and so they moved abroad. However, there were initially 6 of them, but only 2 of them survived the road, survived the trip and arrived there. And locals jokingly say that they were the first Italians to move abroad to look for a job. Who knows whether it happens or not, but I think, yeah, of course, there might have been the glassmakers who tried to escape, who tried to move abroad or to move to a different part of Italy, because that's natural, you know, when someone is confined to only one part, to wanting to move And well, I think this is also quite tragic, you know, because this part is beautiful, yes, but you know, I don't know whether I'd love to live here forever without the possibility of living it. Guys, if you want to learn more about the island of Murano, but also about the other islands of the Lagoon of Venice, make sure to check out my Patreon page. Check out the link in the description box and learn more about this fabulous island. I have a dedicated post there talking about most of the accessible islands, and also I have many more useful information, itineraries and viewpoints and rooftop bars, restaurants, hotels, all the kind of things that you want to know when planning your vacation in Italy. So check it out, click the link in the description box, subscribe, and like that you will not miss anything new. Guys, we just got to see the demonstrations of how glass figurines are being made, and it was absolutely amazing. I will leave you the link in the description box for the gallery where we found it, because it is actually quite difficult to get to these demonstrations last minute. In many places across the island you have to book in advance, and also not all of them are free of charge. This one was free, and the owner of this gallery was so nice. We actually were alone there, can you imagine? He agreed to show it to us as we went there, and you know, it was okay and it was for free, and he just said, yeah, sit down, I will show you how I do this horse figurine. And he showed us the whole process from the beginning, from zero to the creation of this mesmerizing glass horse. It was magical. Honestly, for me, it's pure magic. I loved it so much. And yeah, guys, you should absolutely visit this place. You should see this demonstration, because for me, it was the highlight of today's visit. By the way, did you know that it is quite difficult to differ the original Murano glass from the non-authentic one? And there are a few things that I was told you should look for when shopping for your glass products, especially if you're doing it in mainland Venice and not here on the island of Murano. First thing first, you have to look for these little tiny bubbles inside your figurine or your lamp or your vase or whatever you're shopping for, because these little bubbles actually indicate that the product is handmade. Otherwise, it's not. And also there is this kind of a stamp, kind of a sticker that is put in some products, and it should contain the precise wording of Vetro Artistico di Murano, because it means it is actually a protected registered trademark, and it means that it's like a part of this original trademark. Sorry for the sound, guys, there is evaporator trying to park nearby. Anyway, when you are buying these things, if there is something else written there, it might not be the original one. Some dishonest vendors try to change the wording, like the product of Murano or produced with the original Murano Murano manufacturing technique or something like this. These all are not original. However, one of the shop owners here told me that it is really difficult to know because not all the products and even not all the manufacturers here on the island of Murano will put this kind of sticker on their products. However, they will leave you a certificate stating the name of the master who produced the product and of the seller if these are two different people, and it actually is authentic, you know, because it's produced here, it's manufactured here on the island of Murano. However, it may not have this kind of a sticker, but you have to look for these products carefully, especially if you're shopping in these mainstream shops on the mainland of Venice. And you know, I've talked about it many times before, honestly, that there are sadly these shops that might not be selling authentic souvenirs. Keep in mind that Murano glass is pretty expensive, and the authentic Murano glass will most likely cost you quite a lot, but it will be the authentic Murano glass, the one that's been a value thing for centuries now. And of course, if you bring it from here, from Murano, you know, it will just make sense. You know, guys, Murano reminds me of some residential parts of Venice for some reason. Like, there aren't so many people and it's very calm and there is this very relaxed vibe, which is fine. I mean, I love it, honestly. However, I feel like if you have limited time and, for example, you have to choose between the two of the most famous islands, Murano and Burano, and it's your first time here, you know, Murano is a little bit more unique. I wouldn't say authentic because Murano is absolutely 100% authentic. It's just that Murano, thanks to its colorful houses, might be a little bit more unique, a little bit more different compared to Venice, to mainland Venice. And if you haven't seen my video from Murano, I'll leave you a link up here so you can check it out. But it's also normal because Murano was a fisherman island and Murano is the glassmaker's island. And here you're coming for another experience, very different one. You're coming here to enjoy this ancient craft of glassmaking and learn more about it and hopefully even see a demonstration. So the experience is pretty different. I still love Murano. So yeah, just so that you know that aesthetically it's very similar to Venice, which is fine. I mean, Venice aesthetically is one of the most beautiful places in the world, so it's not a big deal at all. Here, guys, it feels so peaceful, and I actually wanted to take you to this church for a very peculiar reason. I'm not sure that it's open because I heard that it's not actually open for public anymore and it is closed today. But anyway, this church is just a little church here on the island of Murano, but it has a very interesting legend linked to it, a very peculiar history. It is said that Giacomo Casanova, yes, that famous or infamous Giacomo Casanova from Venice, used to come here for the religious services quite often. And you know why? Because he had two of his lovers who lived here, who were who were making part of the convent, because there used to be a convent back then. And one of them, apparently named Caterina, was a 14-year-old girl, a very young woman, when he met her. And when her father found out about the affair, he sent his daughter off here to Murano, to the convent. And when Giacomo Casanova, of course it didn't stop him from visiting her, came here to the convent to meet her, he fell in love with another sister, another nun here in the convent, and so he started visiting both of them. And that's it for today, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I loved Murano and I had a fantastic time exploring this lovely island and learning more about the glass making and its history. And I really hope that you'll get to visit it too and that you'll get to explore it all by yourselves. Guys, as always, I remind you to subscribe so you can join us, so you don't miss anything new, because I post regular travel vlogs every week, by the way, and occasional cha-cha videos where I share my best tips for traveling to Italy and living here. And as always, don't forget to like, comment and share this video with your friends so I can make even more videos like this. If you want to say thanks for this video, don't forget to hit the thanks button down below, and like that you'll help me incredibly and you'll support this channel. Thank you guys so much for being here. Please enjoy your day.